Hello, this is Keith Cooks. I'm Keith, and today I'm going to show you how to make lovely, soft, squishy white bread rolls. Now, I'm usually pretty good at bread, but one thing I've always had a problem with making is these soft rolls. Mine always come out like rocks. So I've been looking around on the interwebs now, and I've found the solution. I was doing three things wrong. My dough was too dry, I had too much flour in it. I wasn't kneading it enough to get plenty of elasticity in it, and I wasn't proving it for long enough. So basically it's all down to time and lots of it. So ingredients, I've got 250 grams of strong white bread flour, 150 mils of lukewarm water, a teaspoon each of salt and caster sugar, a chunk of fresh yeast. If you can't get fresh yeast, you can use a sachet of the instant dried stuff, and 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. I've also got some extra olive oil just in case I need it, and a scraper, because you'll need something to scrape the dough off the table with, because it's well sticky. So before you start, scratch your ears, blow your nose, because you're going to be clagged up for about 10 minutes. So first of all, I'm going to add the caster sugar. Stir that in a little bit. This helps the yeast. You know, it's food for the yeast basically. And then the salt on one side of the bowl and the yeast on the other side, because if you get your salt and your yeast mixed too soon, it inhibits the yeast. And now the olive oil. I'll just mix everything together a little bit and add the water. So as I mentioned before, this makes a really sticky dough, and you will, to start with, you'll think you'll never get it to come together, you'll never make bread out of this, but actually it does work. And don't be tempted to add more flour, because that dries it out and then it won't work. So we'll just tip this out onto the worktop. So we're just stretching it, pulling it together, stretch it more, and we keep on doing this until we have a nice elastic dough. So about 15 minutes later, I've got a blob of intensely sticky dough, and I'm covered in it. so I'm just going to pop this into the bowl. And I'll cover that with plastic film, leave it in the warmest place I can find until it's trebled in size. Okay, about 3 hours later, there's our lovely well-risen dough, and now we need to do the next stage, which is knocking back and proving again. Not for 3 hours this time though. So what we're doing now is just knocking all the air out of it. Not supposed to do this, but I'm gonna flour it a bit because it's just unworkable otherwise. So we want to roll it out into a sausage, and then we'll divide it into 6 pieces to make 6 rolls. So we'll chop it in half and then chop each half into thirds. Try to get them the same size. Okay, and then we'll just roll them, well, form them into a flattened ball. Then we place them on a baking tray lined with greaseproof paper, and you want them to be close enough together so that when when they rise again and expand, they do actually touch, because that kind of torn edge is one of the hallmarks of a soft bread roll. Okay, so now I cover it with clean cloth and let them rise till they are doubled in size. Now we'll have a sneak preview of our risen buns. They're coming up nicely. So I've got the oven preheating to 230 Celsius, and when I'm sure it's reached that temperature, I'll pop these in and bake them for about 15 minutes. But you've got to make sure the oven is really hot before you put them in. Right, here we go. Delicious, aromatic, soft bread rolls. Squidgy, but hot. So we'll let those cool down. Okay, let's chop this baby in half and have a little taste. Fantastic, absolutely amazing.